So here's one of my favorite questions. How do I know if I'm psychic? I love that question. Well, let me put it this way. If you're asking, you already know. So let me give you some validation about that. When people come in and say, well, how do I know if I'm psychic or not? I ask them, well, when did you start seeing things or hearing things? Like, oh, I've heard and seen things all my life. Okay. Then you're psychic, my darling. And to be honest with you, I think everybody is psychic to some degree or another. Now, I know, it's like everybody can play the piano. Almost anybody can bang out chopsticks, right? But not everyone is going to play a top concert at Carnegie Hall. So there are levels. To me, being psychic simply means that you've learned how to quiet your conscious mind and move into a more meditative state, and you're listening to these very subtle energies and can interpret them in a way that makes sense and bring it back to our three-dimensional world. So when you can quiet your mind, you can do that through meditation or prayer, or hanging out in the woods and hugging trees, or whatever lets you just get out of your brain. Get quiet. When you listen to the subtle energies around you, you will have all the psychic information that you need, because we all are psychic. Most of us just ignore all of these subtle energies and little, hey, Susan, you need to do this. And when I do it, it typically works very well. Now, if they're telling you to do something that's contrary to what you know is right, well, don't do that. But listen to your Jiminy Cricket on your shoulder. Okay, you're conscious. Listen to your conscience, or listen to your spirit guides. Make sure you know who your spirit guides are. Call in only the highest for the highest good. And then pay attention to the subtleties. And then don't just like poo-poo it off. You've asked to get information. Here's the information. I'll never forget this one time. I was much younger, and I was really struggling with an issue. And I remember this very clearly. I'm in the car, I'm driving, and I'm talking to my spirit guides. Happily, I'm the only human in the car. And I'm like, oh yeah, but what about this? I just really need to know about this. Can you tell me about this? What about this? And I must have, I was obsessing about it. And finally, it felt like spirit went thump. And they're like, well, if you'll shut up long enough, we'll tell you. Remember that's probably been 35 years ago. And I still remember laughing and saying, oh, okay, so I should just be quiet and listen. And that's the key, my darlings. Just be quiet and listen. Everybody's psychic. So are you psychic? Yeah, you are. I hope that helps. This is Susan at the Rock Shop at 311 Broadway, historic downtown Paducah, where positive energy works. Have a great one.